back. I'm your host Kathy, and today we've got a fantastic discussion lined up for you, and it's titled Romantic Gestures. It's brought to you by C1 Productions. But before we get started, let's hear from my amazing panel. Hello.
Hi
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. Nice to
Hi.
be back.
Okay. So don't forget to show some love to our channel. Subscribe by scanning the QR code provided for just $9.99 a month, and we've got some exclusive discounts waiting for you. Any support will be highly appreciated. So let's go straight to our topic: romantic gestures. So we are going to explore the beauty of love and beauty of love in all its forms. Uh, you know, romantic gestures are those small acts that speak volumes about how much you care about your partner, your fiancé, or your spouse. So you can maybe decide to write a small note when going to work in the morning and leave it at the you know at the table when she wakes up or he wakes up and sees it and reads it. So yeah, I'm going to define romantic gestures. Uh, these are tender expressions of love and affection shared between partners, crafted to ignite sparks of intimacy and deepen emotional connections. From a simple handwritten note expressing admiration to grand gestures like surprise, candlelight dinners, or spontaneous weekend, these acts volumes of heartfelt sentiment. Whether it's a gentle touch, a loving gaze, a thoughtful gift, romantic gestures, escapulate the beauty of love language, enriching relationship with warmth, joy, and passion. So I'm gonna ask Fritz. I'm gonna ask Joash. What's your favorite? Let me say like favorite romantic gesture that someone ever done to you, or you have ever done to someone. Go ahead.
Um, a gesture. Yeah. I'm a guy who, when I hear words of affirmation and admiration, yeah. So I think that's for me a gesture uh, that you're talking about. So that's the way I
Mm-hmm.
receive it. I think when it comes to me giving it, I like to do it through service and through meeting needs and helps. So that's how I communicate love. Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you saying you
Different.
loved receiving the notes or giving the notes, the small affirmation messages?
Actually, both. Yeah, and especially when I hear it.
Hmm.
So it's different when it's heard. It's also good when I read it, but it's different when I hear it straight from the person.
Oh, that's good. What about you, Jenny? What's yours?
For me, as Josh mentioned, it goes both ways. The romantic gesture should be done by both partners to each other. And for me, I like those surprise hugs and kisses. So they're the heartfelt gestures that show someone that you care deeply about them, and it could be, yeah, like you said, handwritten love letters. And I usually do those stuff back then, but not anymore. But yeah, I should do it
Mhm.
more often, I guess. So it's all about making your partner feel cherished and special in a way that's unique to your relationship.
That's lovely. Okay, so we're going to get to our day story. Um, we have Reese. There's a couple here, so you're just gonna listen. There's Reese and Tina. So when their relationship first began, Reese loved buying flowers for his girlfriend, showering her with presents and giving her random kisses. However, after he felt secure she was his, he stopped displaying these romantic gestures. When Tina questioned him about why he had stopped showing her love and appreciation the way he had when they were dating, Reese asked her why he was the only one who was expected to display romantic gestures. As the woman in the relationship, Tina believes she doesn't need to show her husband romantic gestures because she takes care of the family, cooks, cleans, and even quit her job to better support them. Upon consulting her female friends, they agree that men are expected to show romantic gestures more often than women. So, is that statement true or false? Anyone can answer that.
Go,
So
Jenny.
the question, yeah. So the question is, if the romantic gestures, um, like is solely the responsibility of one gender. What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, it's I don't think that's okay because I think it's all about balance. Because both partners should be actively involved in keeping the romance alive, so to speak. So it shouldn't fall solely on one person, just because of their gender. Like, um, for example, like you want to cook a meal together, so each person would bring their own ingredients, like to create something for them to enjoy. And I think the love and affection is just not exclusive to one gender because you know uh, two of you are in the relationship, so it should be equally shared between the partners, regardless of the gender roles. I mean, if the woman shows romantic gestures, the man should do the same as well, so as not to just to strike a balance in the relationship, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So, if your husband bought you flowers today, tomorrow, what are you going to surprise him with?
Actually,
Pair of
I
socks?
remember. Yeah, I remember back then. Yeah, he used to give me flowers, and so there was this one time that I surprised him as well. So it's not usual for women to give guys flowers, right? So there was this one time that I gave him a blue rose, long stem blue rose, and I was surprised that he was able to keep it fresh for a long time. That's much longer than I did when I was receiving the flowers. Yeah. So, yeah, we can do that as well, give them flowers. And I usually give letters and a little note, you know, surprise, and those little cards as well
Mm-hmm.
that has quotes and everything. Yeah, so I do those stuff. And he would give me like stuffed toys in exchange for those as well, surprise gifts, even when there's no special occasion for
Wow.
it. So, yeah.
Wow.
What about you, Josh? Have you
Okay.
received any flowers or anything outside of the ordinary?
Yeah. So what the question is it sole responsible of one gender? I believe, I while listening to Jenny and answering this, there's what they call the rule of the river. Have you heard of
Mm,
that, Kathy? The rule of the river.
No.
It when it stops receiving, it dries
mhm.
up. But when
Mm-hmm.
it stops giving, it becomes you know, it becomes stinks. It stinks. You know. So it's like the rule of relationship also. We have to receive and give. So the it's like the so that life becomes alive. And so I don't think it's just the soul. To answer the question, it's not just the sole responsibility of one gender, but both people in the relationship should give and take, and appreciate and then give. So I think it's that kind of dynamics of healthy receiving and healthy giving. So yeah, it's not just one person. Both should be willing to lovingly receive and lovingly give.
Should they be equal, bro? If I give you a car, should I expect you to give me a car back?
A car. No, maybe just a motorcycle. No, just kidding.
If it comes from the heart, why not, right? The important thing
Yeah,
here is, you give
Oh.
out of love, you know.
yeah, and you're communicating that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mhm,
it's translating into a healthy emotional effect
mhm.
on each
Like if you
other.
give, like if you give your partner a gift, you shouldn't force the other partner to give the same.
Yeah, yeah, but when you
But if you
give,
want to
Okay, but
appreciate the gesture,
yeah,
you can do it.
mhm. Okay, I've seen some videos online where the boyfriend decide to give boyfriend a car, a beautiful car, but the car is the brand is not what she wanted.
the girl.
So after receiving it, she's
Oh,
angry because
yeah, 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 I saw that.
you did not get my type. You did not get my type. Just appreciate. He
Yeah,
made that effort to gift you something, but lack of appreciation is what I see in people. They don't appreciate the small kind
that's telling. Yeah.
gestures. It takes some effort even to write that small note. You don't have to think what to write,
Mm-mm.
so
Yeah.
it takes an effort to write that note. So I think people should be more appreciative, especially women are not some women are not small kind of gestures. They just want grand expensive things, which is okay because they all have their taste. But when someone does something for you out of kindness, out of love, you're supposed to appreciate it. Even if you don't like it, you can fake the smile or the love. I'm not giving you hints to fake it, but you should be more appreciative towards them. Don't you agree, guys?
Agree.
Agree.
Yeah, but then it's also
Okay.
good to know, what the
Mm-hmm.
person would truly appreciate. So there's a tension, being nice person and being grateful. But then to some extent, I think the emotion can be validated. Like the guy should know what gift or what type. But then that's an extreme, again, extreme response. I saw that video too, but yeah. So there's that tension. Be appreciative, but then a gift is a gift if that item is for the person who's receiving, it's really a gift. Because like I could give someone, which is for me, this is a gift, but for that
Mm-hmm.
person's perspective, it's not that a gift. you know if you know what I'm saying. So you really have to go to the place of the receiver, so that when we give something, it really is like, oh, this communicates effort and care and concern. So yeah.
Okay, I do agree with you. Those thoughtful. I might want to
Mm.
surprise you with something, but I didn't ask you because
Yeah.
if I tell you, it wouldn't be a surprise anymore. So if I
Hmm.
surprise you with a car that you didn't like, please appreciate it because I spent some money on that. So it's
Yeah.
those little things that count the most. Maybe like a warm hug after a long day of work. And like it doesn't to be expensive or something. Just that effort is very very good. You made an effort, so it should be this should be appreciated no matter what. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna jump right into the next question. Is it fair to expect romantic just from the other, especially if they don't reciprocate in the same way? Anyone can answer that. The floor is yours.
Is it fair for one partner to expect romantic gestures from another?
Mm-hmm.
Reciprocate in the same way. Well, I think the
Yeah.
communication would be something that they need to look into their communication. Like, if someone
Mm-hmm.
is expecting something, that should be communicated, and it must not be demanded, but you know, communicated in a way that is not demanding. So, when somebody is not reciprocating, I think that person needs to communicate it, because maybe the other person is not aware that the expectation is not being met, or the desire is not being heard. So I think there's a communication that they need to work on. What do you think, Jenny?
I think fairness is key here. Yeah, it's like playing a game of uh, catch, I think. So when you throw the ball, you expect it to come back to you. So if one partner is making grand gestures without getting any love in return, I think it's bound to create some tension in the relationship. So I think it's all about mutual effort and appreciation for me. So, but then, if the other person is like giving expensive gifts, and everything, and the other cannot reciprocate that kind of gift giving, then, then, yeah, as you mentioned, it should be communicated. But then, still, there are some other ways of giving romantic gestures without spending a lot. So, yeah, you could do the same as well. You can reciprocate in that way without giving, without any I think without any financial restraint on your part. You can do that in other means. That's what I'm saying.
But I think there's some people who are naturally givers. Like they
Mhm.
just give. They don't expect you to do it to
Do the same thing.
reciprocate what they give you or
Hmm.
something. They just give. They are,
Yeah.
should I don't know if kind of word. They just give. They don't expect something back. They just give. And some people are also naturally not givers. You must ask them for something. They will not just think, I sit down and think, oh, I should give them this. No, you'll have to ask them.
Right.
I don't know if you call them stingy or something. I don't know. I don't use that word, but yeah.
They're not just that thoughtful, I guess.
Okay.
But for me, I think I'm a
Mm-hmm.
natural giver. Like I
You must ask.
yeah, it makes me feel good to, give and see their reaction when I give something. So yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
nice to give something
Yeah, it makes.
to the person you love. Yeah.
Josh, are you, are you, a natural giver? Oh, I must ask for something for you to
Natural
give me.
receiver.
Yeah, sometimes, there are times that I want to give, but it's just the capacity. I don't have.
Yeah, it's just
So I think
asking.
that the least that I could give is a
Mhm.
handwritten letter, I think. And it's powerful. It's the least you could give, an encouragement, a feedback, affirmation. So yeah, a
Okay,
note.
when I'm talking, when I talk about giving, I'm not saying money. I'll just say anything apart from money. Let's count money out.
Yeah,
Because when it's come to money, you might
limited.
be a little bit selfish with your money, you know, or limited, or you don't have that much to give. You want to, but you can't. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
willing
gifting
but
is
not
also
able.
good. Gifting is also good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the point.
But yeah, you're correct. We can
You're
give in
gonna
some
give
other
them some.
forms. Yeah.
Yeah, you can cook a nice dinner.
Mhm.
You can food. Uh, you can buy them a pair of socks. That's cheap. It's not that expensive. Their favorite perfume, maybe
Yeah.
a bottle of water. That's also giving. They were thirsty, but you give them water. That's also giving. We
Yeah.
have so many forms of giving. So yeah, I think it depends with the
Yeah.
person. If you're a
It's all
natural
about the
giver,
gesture.
that's okay. If you're not,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It's all about the effort and the gesture to show appreciation for the other.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Should traditional gender roles influence who is expected to initiate romantic gestures in a relationship? Here I'm gonna talk about when growing up, I saw the males in the house are the one who are giving, not the women. So the women will be counted like I'm going to cook for him, I'm going to clean his clothes, I'm going to clean the house. So that's what I'm offering. So the men are expected to buy stuffs, buy flowers, buy clothes, buy everything in the house. So do you think that the traditional gender roles influence this, the giving stuff?
I think those are just those old-fashioned stereotypes. So, in this generation
Mm-hmm.
where both the men and women are capable and are both empowered, I think we should like break free
Mm-hmm.
from the mold because it doesn't fit anymore. Because both of them can give flowers to each other or plan date night. Like the guy could plan and the woman could plan as well. So I think both partners should take the lead in showing affection, and also you know um, it's important to challenge those stereotypes. You know, and I think both should not feel restrained, or I mean constrained by those outdated societal expectations anymore. Yeah, so
I agree.
Okay.
balance.
Yeah. But then again, I think it would be good for uh, anyone to initiate. It's like out giving, or out loving one another. Because someone has to begin, someone has to initiate, and so yeah, both could do the initiative.
Yeah. So you think the traditional thing is not influencing anything? We're in modern times, right?
Yeah, it does influence because we have this notion that it should only be the guy who should be more giving in a relationship, like when it comes to material stuff. So I guess that should be like um, um, we should break free from that, you know, expectation,
Mm-hmm.
and both like both of them are in the relationship, so both should be doing actions towards each other. They should not be limited by their genders.
Yeah. Love
I
is an
agree.
action word.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
I agree. Okay. How do expectations of gender roles impact the dynamics of romantic relationships? Joash, are you going to take the floor first?
How do societal expectations of gender roles impact
Mm-hmm.
dynamics? I guess it depends on the people, but in general, it actually does impact in a way that may be unhelpful or unhealthy because most of those expectations are based on cultural trends. So it changes from time to time. But then again, the dynamic should be both parties giving and receiving and giving. So I think we could challenge the expectations of society with with better ways of doing it. I was actually thinking of this idea that you could actually give without loving, but you
Mm-hmm.
can never love without giving.
Right.
So there will always be a gesture of uh, giving in not just only materially, but a gift of care, gift of empathy, gift of listening, other ways of extending yourself. Yeah, extending yourself, which communicates love. Yeah, in the
Right.
relationship.
Right.
So
I agree. Yeah, it's
so
reality that,
Okay, but
go ahead.
we have materialistic people. Do you think they're going to accept your gift of listening? I don't know what. They want cash. They want cash. They want something else. Not listening. Not those
uh,
gifts you're talking about.
Kathy, I'm sure you're not talking about yourself, right? So
No,
oh,
I'm not.
Fritz.
No,
uh,
I'm not talking about myself. I'm just
so
because Joash is saying gift of listening, love. I don't know, but
yeah,
when materialistic,
yeah,
they're not going to. You're not going to offer them that.
yeah.
So what are you going to offer them?
Of
So,
course, you're gonna give them something materialistic. Just kidding. Oh yeah. So Fritz, why are you
Quite
not
challenging.
here, Fritz?
uh,
Are you commenting there? Why challenge
You
at
want
the
to
same
answer
time?
this?
why challenge a tradition? Oh, it's going to answer, but it's not me. Joash, do you mind answering this
You
to
mind
us?
answering that?
So actually, the principle is that you treat the person according to how the person wants to be treated. So if you can't bear a materialistic person, I think it's not gonna work. You gotta look for someone else.
Yeah, why are you not? Why are you even in a relationship with a materialistic person? When you are in a mature relationship, you know, it's
Yeah, but if
not.
you love
Maybe
the
you like their
person,
vibe. Maybe you love spending time with them. You love their vibe. You just want to be around them. You don't care if they're
yeah,
materialistic.
That's right.
yeah.
That's also a reason. Okay. Mm. Is it possible for one partner to feel unappreciated or neglected if romantic gestures are not reciprocated? So, I saw this, I would say TikTok. It was on Valentine's. I don't know. Yeah. Guess Valentine's? Yeah. Valentine's. So, this lady came forth and recorded a certain video The husband was seated around the corner, and the lady was recording, saying, "Tell me why my husband has not bought me any flowers, and this is our, I think, seventh year of marriage. So I was wondering, why, if you want those flowers, why are you still with him for 7 years, and you know for a fact he didn't buy you flowers, and you love flowers, right? But you still, it's like you want sympathy from people. Why are you telling us your husband didn't do this, and you have been with him for 7 years? Like, doesn't make sense. And also, on Mother's Day, it was Women's Day, it was like 8th March, and she also said, my husband never did this to me on Mother's Day, on Women's Day. He doesn't appreciate me for carrying his children. I'm like, wow. And people were going crazy in the comment section, saying, you should leave him, you should dump him, maybe you should talk to him. And I'm like, so what would you say about that, guys?
For me, why would she even like record the husband like that? It's like portraying that the husband is like a good for nothing husband. You know, he's trying to embarrass his husband.
Mm,
If he has any if she has any
yeah.
problems with the way that the husband is treating her, or not giving her any gifts, she should first have a talk with the husband, and communicate her feelings with the husband, and not go on social media to get comments from other people who doesn't even know them personally. Like, it would create um a tension between in their relationship. If some other people would um get in the way of how they deal with their own
Mhm.
issues, I guess. So yeah, I don't think you would call it a mature relationship. You know, why would she
and
even treat her husband like that?
and mind you, they have children.
She should,
They have 2 children.
respect the husband's privacy, for that matter, I guess, and deal with it
I think
private.
sympathy. It's social media after all. We love cloud
I don't
chasing in
get why,
some way.
yeah,
So
cloud
what do you have to
chasing.
say?
I don't get it why people do that.
To get the views. You know you're gonna
The
get
views,
paid when the views are up.
yeah, I know. It's their personal life. I don't know. I don't like that. Um, I don't like that uh, way.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have to say about that, Josh?
There was this, I don't know if it reached your place, Kathy, but there was this guy
Mm-hmm.
who gave a, was it Jenny, was it 299 pesos ring,
Yeah, the ring, the
or the
engagement ring.
the engagement ring?
Oh,
Yeah,
And
we
the
had
I
an
girl
I saw
posted
episode
it.
it.
about that.
You saw that?
We had an episode about that
Mm-hmm.
on Let's Talk
Oh
About
yeah, yeah. And so,
Yeah, I
you
saw
know,
it.
posting your personal relationship on social media is really tricky, and
Mm,
you know, it could have been dealt with on a personal level. So I like what Jenny's saying. If you have an issue with your special someone, you really have to sit down and communicate. You know.
Together.
But yeah, our culture today, it's easy for us to go straight to uh, the World Wide Web, and for the netizens, to
Mm-hmm.
get, yeah, that clout and the response and the sympathy of people you don't even know.
mm-hmm.
But I do ask this question. So when you're on on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, crying, you record yourself crying. What if the video doesn't start when you started crying? Are you going to start crying again? Or try be funny or something?
When
What
those
if
kinds
you
of
didn't click the
videos,
timer? Are you going to start crying again? and record
Yeah, right.
yourself.
Take two.
Well, there's a crying effect on TikTok. So just kidding. Could be
No,
messed up.
you can differentiate between the effect and the real tears. So the real, I'm talking about the real tears. Are you going to start recording yourself again and then, start crying again when you forget to hit the start button?
You forgot to hit
I
the
really
start
wonder.
button.
Even if
That
it's re-
that
you know, even if it's real tears, I
Ah,
if I see those kinds of videos, it makes me cringe. And I just keep it. Why would you even record yourself crying, ugly crying, for everyone to
crying,
see? Just to get sympathy.
sympathy
I
from people you don't even know, as Josh said.
yeah,
Just
kind of
want to
cringy.
be that kind of. Yeah, I agree. Okay, are romantic gestures a necessary component of a healthy relationship, or are they optional expressions of affection? What do you think? I would say I think they're just a component because we can just stay in a relationship without going to dates, picnics, and whatever. So I think it's just a component of love. So what do you think, guys?
Yeah, you're right. I agree with what you said. So it's like adding that extra flavor to make it really special. So those romantic gestures
Mhm.
are like seasoning in a dish. So they're not exactly mandatory, I guess, but they do make the relationship more enjoyable and fulfilling. So, those little acts of love keep
I
fire
agree.
burning.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y-
You
y-
both agree with that?
Some spice.
Um.
Yeah,
Sure.
you'll be
Okay.
there
Go
in a
ahead, George.
relationship. Might as well, yeah, might as well, put some spice on it. That's what you said.
Yeah, and it also
Make it
The
special.
salt.
Make it worthwhile.
and it also enhances the bond between the two partners. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't to be have to be a boring relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
Joash, how would you define what's a boring relationship to you? You say you might look at this and say that's a boring relationship. So what is that to you? What's a boring relationship according to you?
Well, according to me,
Mm-hmm.
it's boring when there's no spice. When there's no, yeah,
What
when
spice?
romance, the sugar and the spice. When there's no flavor, when you keep eating something that it's so bland
Hmm.
and it doesn't taste
Mm-hmm.
something, it becomes boring when there's no um, romance anymore, when there's no gift of caring and receiving, when it's all just like uh, what do you call
Mm-hmm.
this, just mechanical, when there's no fire in it anymore. So it becomes boring when we're not talking to each other anymore.
Yeah.
When
So,
there's no laughter, yeah, when there's no even conflict, that are handled in a mature way. Yeah, so communicate and don't be afraid to uh you know let yourself be
Mm-hmm.
known on a very emotional level. So yeah,
yeah.
that's what makes it special and spicy. That's okay.
When everything's just routine, I guess it makes the relationship boring when you see that you're no longer interesting to your partner, and the 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 talk communications are no longer there. Like, you see that, you know uh the interest is no longer there, and it doesn't spark any romance anymore, I guess. So that would be boring. Even when you don't fight anymore, it's boring.
Mhm. Also, you see, doing some things over and over again becomes boring. Let's say when you are dating, you used to cook him some. I just use noodles. After like 7 years of marriage, you're still cooking the same. I think it's gonna be uh, boring at some point. Eating the same dish over and over and over again. It's okay to eat it, but changing the type of food you're cooking for him maybe might spice things, as Trixie said. uh, okay. Should partners communicate their expectations regarding romantic gestures early in the relationship to avoid misunderstandings later on?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like it's better to lay out those expectations from the get go rather than letting them, simmer and potentially boil over later on. Because it's like setting the groundwork for a strong foundation of the relationship. That's for me. So communication is, as we are always saying, is very essential in any relationship. So especially when it comes to expressing the affection and also the appreciation for your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So the romantic gestures early on can help, establish mutual understanding and prevent potential conflicts down the road. Mhm.
Yeah, should be
Yeah,
laid down
that's correct.
and communicated.
Okay. Is there a difference in how romantic gestures are perceived based on gender? And if so, why? That's
The
the next one.
difference in how romantic gestures are perceived. Oh, for sure. Like, it's kind of funny how society assigns certain behaviors to genders. And so, like, breaking free from those roles can, open up a lot of possibilities for expressing love and affection for each individual. So, for example, certain gestures may be like traditionally associated with masculinity or femininity, and that could lead to differences in how they're interpreted and valued. So, we should always, like I mentioned earlier, both genders should be able to express themselves however they want to express themselves, and um, and they should not be limited to what their genders are.
Hmm,
How about for you,
that's
Josh?
good.
Yeah, so like what you said, um, it's really hard, when we depend on how society is expecting it. We can just choose to be, ourselves, and yeah, communicate our expectation regarding the kind of romantic gestures we desire to receive. And by doing so, when you and your partner knows their each other's desires, then we won't even care about how society,
Yeah.
as long as we're meeting each other's
Mm,
romantic needs or desires.
okay.
As long as, yeah, it will make the marriage work, or the relationship work rather.
Okay, guys. Can the lack of romantic gestures in the relationship lead to resentment and dissatisfaction over time? My answer is I guess yes, it can. Because from our story, we can see the lady is complaining because the guy stopped. But there I see it's like an entitlement or something. She's entitled to get them flowers, get them, don't know, the dinner dates or whatever. But she doesn't do the same for him. So, and I see this one thing. For example, when you give someone maybe 100, or not 100, let's say $20, you give them $20, right? You give them today, it's on Monday. They're going to expect the same because you're making a pattern. They're going to expect the same $20 on next Monday, and when you stop, you're going to see a different reaction from the lady has like something entitlement or something. I don't know if I would call it that. So what do you think, guys?
Oh yeah, you're definitely right. Because for me, the absence of those gestures can create a sense of emotional disconnect, I guess, and that
Mm-hmm.
would signal a lack of appreciation to the other partner. So,
Mm-hmm.
and over time, this could lead to feelings of resentment and lack of intimacy, I guess, with the partner. So, it's essential to nurture those that emotional connection through regular expressions of love. And but I guess it changes through time and different circumstances that come up. But still, as we are saying, you should be able to communicate why those changes um evolve, I guess. Why you're no longer interested in doing those gestures, and you should be able to explain yourself and resolve things between the two of you, not put it
So
out on
Jenny, you're
social
going to
media.
need an explanation.
Yeah, I could ask
Um,
directly. Yeah, and why would I even ask other people for their comments? We're not the one involved.
Yes.
mhm.
You're not in a relationship for the
Yeah.
people. You're in a relationship for both of you.
Okay, Joash, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so it's actually you and the person. It's not, you're not there for the people around you or for clout or for affirmation of the world. So as long as you're both okay and
Mhm.
you are meeting each other's romantic desires, I don't think there will be a place for resentment or dissatisfaction. So if there's a lack, communicate it.
Mhm.
If it's not something that the other person is 100% would agree or is able to give it, maybe you could negotiate as to how much, or uh, there could be some negotiation and adjustments in between as you could talk about it. It's not
Mhm.
just saying what you want or saying what you desire and then demanding for it, but it should be validated and assessed. Can you make it? Can
Mhm.
Is it something that is the other party would enthusiastically agree? If not, maybe we can do some
Mhm.
adjustments. So as long as there's that communication, adjustments can be made. So there's a question here. What should I do
Oh,
when my boyfriend
let's
isn't
see this.
romantic and feel unloved? Yeah. Well, he has to be. Because it's not about him.
So that's a
So
requirement. That's a
that's my
requirement.
advice. Yeah, we do things
So
not
I don't
because we feel good
understand. Is the
about
one
it,
who
but
is
because we.
feeling unloved?
Yeah.
What should I do when my boyfriend
What
isn't
should I do
romantic?
when my boss
And
isn't
if I feel
romantic?
right,
Well, he has to learn.
first off, he has
Ask
to
him
be
why.
romantic.
And
First
next,
off, he has to be
you
romantic.
have to explore. Yeah, and secondly, you have to explore
Mhm.
why does he feel, or what makes him feel unloved quite often. So there's
So I
something that
think
we need to explore.
Yeah.
communication is the key
And yeah,
here.
You should
yes.
you should throw some
Uh,
hints on how you want to be treated and how you want to be, how you want your partner to
oh,
give you romantic gestures, I guess. Throw some hints out there. If he can't get it, wow.
one hint I think one hint is you can try to watch a movie where this a romantic movie
Yeah.
where the guy is, is gifting maybe the girl the flowers and everything. Let watch that show with him. That might help. I think. I don't know. It might help. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's it. So um, should couples reevaluate their expectations regarding romantic gestures as their relationship progresses and circumstances change?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
agree. They should, because
Explain
sometimes our
yourselves.
expectations change and our needs change over time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, relationship is very dynamic. It's not static or um, mechanical. There's a dynamic. There's change that happens. So that's what makes it beautiful,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. 'Cause, relationships evolve over time. So, along with those, with that, the individual's needs and preferences also change. So it's important to check in with each other regularly, I guess, and adjust those expectations as needed, and periodically assess the relationship, granting those romantic gestures, and adjust them accordingly as needed.
Okay. How do cultural differences influence expectations surrounding romantic gestures in relationships? We all come from different cultures, so how does it influence romantic gestures expectations?
I think for me, you should try to understand and respect these different cultural differences, so you would be able to understand, you would have mutual understanding and appreciation within the relationship. So uh we'd have distinct norms and traditions when it comes to expressing ourselves, expressing our affection towards each other. So at the get-go, you would be able to
Mm-hmm.
communicate, relay those expectations and emotions, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
you cannot take away culture from a person, so it has to be acknowledged. Yeah, I agree, Jenny.
Mm. Okay. So last words to our listeners. Any advice you would love to give them, or any shout outs you would love to give your friends, maybe family, before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, keep putting the spice in the relationship. Keep the fire burning. That's for me. And shout out to my friend who's listening or watching at the moment.
Yeah, keep caring
Mm,
for me. That's
that's love.
my uh, advice. Keep caring, keep protecting
Mm-hmm.
the love. Shout out to my wife and my friends.
Shout out to Fritz. And you're not remembering him,
Shout out.
guys.
Yeah, it,
He's one of us.
Enjoy your date night.
Okay. And that's hmm. And that's a wrap up for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, relationships can be tricky, but communication is the key. Keep learning and keep loving. Until next time, take care. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more thought provoking discussions. Goodbye for now.
Bye.